And say hello and welcome everyone to this week's Collective Imagination Show with Barbara Carnes and myself.
Hello.
Hello. And a shout out to Solace from last week.
My constant companion this week.
Sorry?
What'd you say?
I've been playing, yeah.
Yeah, I said my constant companion this last week.
Yeah, right. I actually found myself doing things like having a question and just typing that into the Google search bar, saying, "Hey Solace, this is what I'm looking for, or can you help me with, or whatever," and you get the most bizarre results.
Well, I don't know if you were aware, Lisa, but yesterday when you guys went robo a couple of times on the One People show, someone else in the group, maybe it was Jeff Gates, but I don't want to say for sure. I think it was a male. He called on Solace, and so quietly I did the same. And first time, boop. The second time it took a few more seconds, but boop. I don't know if anyone else noticed that, but I did, and I was like, "Thank you."
Well, we have to be more specific and say long term, because none of it lasted very long. It just kept dropping. Okay, so there's a whole separate conversation happening in the chat room about recording.
Well, I did want to.
Oh,
I did want to mention. I did want to mention that the topic for tonight's show is contrast in an awakening society. So we're going to be exploring the fact that contrast exists and some of the things that you can do to walk through it and kind of recognize what its role is, and accept it as actually a kind of interesting way to almost a sign or a signal that something great is about to happen, because you're walking through the contrast instead of around it in a more quiet way.
Okay, I got a couple of questions to the chat room. What's katana? Windows 10 AI. Oh, okay. Is that like a Siri on your iPhone? Yes. Okay. Fair enough. And you're being asked to define your perception of contrast.
I don't know if I could define it per se on just being kind of taught that way. But I can tell you what it means to me and what my experiences have been. And that is that when there's massive contrast, it can mean anything for me from stop, you're going in the wrong direction because you've already stated what it is that you wish. And in order to receive that and recognizing that you're still open, we're going to stop you and keep stopping you until you recognize and go in a different direction. Contrast has also demonstrated to me that I am taking the fast track towards exactly what I was looking for. I'll give you an example we talked about last week when I was had all those issues happening to me, in that 1 week period, and right on the other side of those was like this amazing transformation that happened. And even when I did showing my son how easy it was to manifest by telling him, "Listen, let me show you. I'm gonna get something on my birthday inside blue," which led me to go to an event in Brooklyn. But to get to that event, it was a 35, 40-minute subway ride turned into 3.5 hours to get there and another 4.5 to get back. And that's just the subway ride. That's not the Long Island Railroad from the subway home. So I just kept, keeping my chin up and that kind of thing. And what happened as a result is I was able to look at it in retrospect was I ended up running into people whose lives I was able to change in that moment that I wouldn't have been there had I not stepped into the magic of this manifestation. And so all of that contrast had a purpose. And so in that case, the contrast was part of the accepting, the manifestation, and to get it to be such a high. It was such a high for, nearly 2 weeks. But to have it be that high, there had to be this contrast, literally because that was the path, not because, well, if you want something really good, you have to have something really bad. No, to get to the really good, the fastest way and to achieve that goal is you have to then, go through this contrast. Because I did say when I was going to go to that event that, use me, universe, give me an opportunity to, make this an event doesn't just pay me back, that pays back a lot of people. And that's exactly what happened. So when I see major contrast, I know that I need to either stop and take pause, that I may need to reevaluate where I'm going, or, ooh, something big is about to happen, woohoo, because I'm going through the mountain instead of around it. And it never has failed me. It's always meant that to me. Now, anyone who's looked at the Collective Imagination Facebook page can see that I posted earlier today a clip from Abraham Hicks that's called Dealing with Major Contrast. And I lined it up to the specific point, and here's what she said. And hopefully this will be the definition.
Do you want to try and play it?
Well, she can't see her. It's just a picture, so okay. I'd rather you look at me.
Oh, well, we'd rather look at you too.
She said, when you're standing in contrast of something not wanted, you just do the best to activate as little of that as possible by releasing your thoughts about it, by not talking about it, by not blogging about it, by not sending emails. Don't struggle within it. Don't try to relate to others. Don't try to get others to understand how you feel. Don't try to defend your position. Don't even try to explain your position. Don't take pictures of your position. Don't document your position, and do your best to avoid the people who want to do that with you.
It's I don't know whether it was Abraham Hicks or Bashar. Maybe they've both said something along these lines about like self-help groups. It's like the worst possible thing you can do when you're in a situation is seek out others in that same situation and all sit around talking about that situation and doing it on a weekly basis or a monthly basis, and you're putting yourself where you're constantly pulling yourself back into that situation, reinforcing that situation. You can never move beyond it. So these support
groups, I heard
groups,
her say that too.
Yeah, support groups. It's like, that's one way to look at it, that's for sure. Because it does seem, in my experience of, not that I've been in any personally, but my experience of having friends and family who have been, whether it's because they've got maybe a drug addict in the family, or, and they're doing the support groups for families of drug addicts, or they've got somebody with an illness, or they've got the illness. It's this need to be constantly validated. My pain is valid. My pain is valid. My thoughts about this are valid. And it's like everyone gets together and validates each other all the time. So your situation is constantly being reinforced and validated. There's no way of moving beyond it if you're going to do that on a regular basis. So I agree with what she said on the other point too. Yeah, exactly. You're just continually feeding the energy into the situation.
Now, having said that, though, there is one thing that I would like to clarify, and that is we do step in and out of those of us that are beginning to awaken, or who are, evolving beyond. I shouldn't say up, just beyond. We still do step and live in the 3D world because we're humans and we're inside this body. And being that I worked for lawyers for nearly 20 years in some interesting positions, I can tell you that information is everything. So I have no qualms. I'm very comfortable with balancing. It's purely a balancing act of making sure that I'm informed about what's going on, and that others that I feel need to have certain information get that information. Not that for any reason except, here you go, take it, don't take it. This information has value. It can help you feel empowered. It can make you feel you're not alone. It has a purpose. So the more informed you are, the more this life can be, you can let go of some things. Because, for example, if you know about the birth certificates and the straw man, that gives you a level of comfort in not conforming to, the roles, which allow you then to spiritually go, you know what? I can actually evolve beyond that. But if you don't ever feel that you have that, if you don't get that information, to get that feeling, to have that knowing, you may never then be able to evolve to a next step. So it's one thing to bash people or to participate in the contrast in a negative way. It's another thing to find yourself in the midst of contrast. And when these quieting things that I just described that Abraham shared are still not making it go away, then there's information is important to share, because just simply because it has value, and that value has a signature, and that signature vibration helps clear the air and move beyond it. So you will find me at times sharing what I feel is pure information without judgment or comment to the contrary, because sometimes things just purely need to be flushed out so they can be flushed away.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. Do you want to move into more specifically what you wanted to share today?
When we get to the point of the meditation, I know I keep seeing that.
I've got a fly that keeps going past the camera on my computer. I didn't even.
Actually, I've looked it up many times, but I'm going to look up fly as a totem, because there's a meaning that's kind of interesting that may just apply. So let me look it up real quick. And whenever I honestly, even though it's as crazy as it sounds, and when I first started doing this, I thought I was crazy myself. So many things, I get so much value from it that it's helpful. If a fly has flown across your path, know that yours are afoot. Rapid change in all aspects of your life are currently happening for you, so be prepared to move quickly, even in unfavorable and uncomfortable conditions. Fly can also signify an exponentially growing source of abundance being available for you right now. Use your keen eyesight to see the way. Never give up. Alternatively, fly could be reminding you that your persistence in reaching your goals will bear fruit sooner than later, even if it means annoying others or being selfish for a while. You do have the ability to accomplish your goals. But what I was thinking...
I'm just thinking the flies are, kind of abundant here. So
I have one landing on me right now continuously.
Well, interestingly, though, I've never seen one fly in front of the screen over and over and over and over. And how long have we been doing these shows? So, take it with a grain of salt.
Well, I liked everything you had to say then about them. So that's cool.
So what I thought we might do for the meditation was to embrace the contrast in that many of us have recently been walking through. And I don't know what that is, but I think it's one of those long Australian horn things, but it almost sounds like a cow mooing. So it's very prevalent on the line. Yeah,
it was actually Sonic.
Didgeridoo?
Sonic's mic was open, so I've just muted it.
Okay.
It wasn't coming from this end.
That's funny. But I thought we would do a meditation where we embrace the contrast that we recently, all of us have, whatever that contrast is for you, have recently found yourself within, and move past it with the excitement of knowing that that means that we're all actually moving towards whatever it is we're attempting to manifest, and that take a step towards that, because there it is waiting for you. That's what I thought we would do with the meditation today, is move through the contrast into the excitement that's waiting beyond.
Awesome. That sounds perfect for many situations that I'm in over the last week. Perfect.
I'd be curious if there are folks in the chat room who can come on the show and share some interesting stories of contrast. I do know that Sheila... Oh, no, okay, so now it says it's recording.
Yeah,
hello, we're back. Okay, now how do I give you permission, Lisa?
Yeah, click on my name and...
Oh. I'm looking for you.
It should be at the top, shouldn't it? Or
There you go. Now I see you. Now what?
If you click on
Name.
more,
Okay.
allow record.
And I went to chat. See, I'm not really good at this. More. Allow record. Okay. So how's it going?
Okay.
And
Okay, I actually didn't think we were coming back. Really didn't think we were coming back.
well,
And I can't make any promises.
we had an interesting synchronicity with Sheila talking about how Windows 10 had installed itself and how she had planned to spend her day looking up astrology information, horoscope information about a number of people and as it related to the eclipse. And that she went ahead and did it anyway, even though Windows 10 was installed. But that was the topic. And then you pop on. I thought you stepped away. I didn't realize that you had actually just fallen off the earth. And you notice I said earth and not globe. And when you said, oh my gosh, I didn't think we were going to get any internet back. And then the eclipse just started. And you went like that. And so here she's talking about doing this in relation to the eclipse. And you come on and say the eclipse just started.
Okay. Yeah, I think I think that's what it was. Because it went out completely, like
No reboot.
nothing. I had just enough internet on my phone to send you a Skype message and say, you know, that's what I think's happened. I can't get back on.
And I
But not enough to tether. I tried tethering the internet from my phone, but you know, one bar it just wouldn't work. And I was like, okay, we're not coming back, apparently.
There's that fly. It came back. It's all around your head.
But okay, answer me this, because Dee and I are looking at each other go, how can the sun being covered by the moon affect an internet cable that is running through the earth? It's a hardwired internet connection.
That ain't a question for me. That's too logical. Does anybody in chat have a good one for that?
I have a suspicion.
Yes,
Let's
ma'am.
Yeah.
The only suspicion I can offer you is that right now the electromagnetic field is unstable. I checked it right before the show because I started having a headache. And I don't know that it's related to the eclipse, but it is unstable currently according to NOAA.
What's NOAA?
National Aeronautics.
Well, National Aeronautics,
Weather. What?
something or other.
Yeah, it has to do
It's a
with
website.
the
It's one of the bullshit alphabets.
yeah, the oceanic and atmospheric folks, but I also looked at SolarHam and it says the same thing.
Well, it'd have to be connected to the eclipse, wouldn't it?
Right now we're in the green.
Yeah, Lee says in chat that he has a headache and back. I'm assuming he means a backache. But maybe he says he has a headache and now he's back.
Okay, speaking of which, now I don't know what you guys, I'm going to talk about you yesterday.
Is Dino there?
Is Dino there? Is Dino in chat?
It doesn't appear so.
Damn.
Thanks, man, Tom.
Because I've lost my link to the Schumann resonance stuff because it's all on my other computer. I was going to go check the Schumann resonance right now.
Oh, okay. Yesterday, Dee and I went into one of the closest, larger towns around here, about half an hour drive away. And we went into a government building. Now, Dee and I were absolutely fine, no problem. I had to go in because I had an appointment for something. So I went in and Dee went off to the side and sat down. Within seconds of sitting down, her heart started pumping like she just run a marathon.
Yeah. Not fast, but just that banging in
Boom.
your chest.
Yeah. And then her vision went. Now I was standing about 15 feet away
Tops.
and she couldn't tell She went from being able to see me very clearly to not being able to tell whether I was even facing her or not. It was that blurry. When we walked out of the building, I told her to walk out of the building. By the time we kind of went down the stairs and started to go across the road, she was fine again. We had to go somewhere else and then come back into that building. Same thing, but this time it actually hit as we were walking up the stairs.
Yep.
I didn't feel anything, but it felt for Dee very technological. And beg the question, do government buildings we've been told that they all have, especially churches and stuff, but also all government buildings have antennas on the top. But are they actually pumping a frequency into these buildings in order to keep people in a certain state? I mean,
to keep them docile, to keep them non-confrontational. I don't know. To mind numb them.
Curious. And the fact that you reacted to it, maybe your frequency is just so far away from that you're reacting to it because it's foreign to you. You're above it or below it, or you're not at anywhere near that frequency, so you're reacting.
Here's the thing: I have that's happened if I go into any big grocery, like your Walmarts. In Morocco, we had Marjan, which was the Moroccan equivalent of Walmart, and the last time we went in, the moment I stepped foot into the store, I could see nothing. Like my vision just everything went into a giant blur. And it was like, I can't be in here. Like the pressure
Are you
of
an empath?
it. To a certain extent.
Because I have friends who are severe empaths. I don't know. They think it's terrible. I kind of think it's cool. And they can't go into a place with more than, say, 10 people because the energy of all the other people interferes with their own field so much that they just, it makes them physically sick, or, they can't.
Here's the difference, though. Here's the difference. In Morocco, I could go to the souk on a Saturday afternoon souk day when it is body to body crammed, hundreds of people, and have no problems.
What do you think it is then?
I think it is some kind of a frequency generator. It happened to me when I was two winters ago in Malta, Christmas shopping. Walked into the only little shopping mall. The moment I walked in, I felt sick. I thought I was going to throw up. I thought I was going to pass out. Nick had to take me outside. Every time I go into this Marjan store in Morocco, exact same thing happens. Now, we went into several stores, like we went into the grocery store, no problem. Nothing. We went into that government building. Each and every time I walked into that government building, it was like literally someone put Vaseline over my eyes. Everything blurred out. I couldn't see anymore. I could barely make out people standing 10 meters away. It was unbelievable. And it was so radical. You turn around, you go, thank you, Dino. Okay, because he's got my Schumann resonance. I lost my computer, so I have no links anymore. I just wanted to see what the Schumann resonance was for today. Yeah, it was startling. And like I said, it was like the pounding in your chest as if you've been running a long way and you get that, your heart's pounding.
Like adrenaline.
But my heart wasn't going any faster.
Just harder.
It was just that right in the chest and the vision. And then we walked out. When we were driving away, I was like, okay, really? I can see the trees 10 meters away. I can see the bark on the trees 10 meters away. No problem. But I go into situation. I mean, my eyes seem to be my biggest tell right now because I go into situation. We went into the airport when we were traveling.
Remember when we were talking about the frames per second?
Yeah. Ah.
Okay, so your eyes take in, what is it, 60?
64 frames per second is what your eyes see in.
Okay. And because this whole conversation came up with epilepsy and everything as well, because epilepsy gets triggered by flickering lights. And it's either things that are too fast, like a strobe, or it can even be things that are too slow. Something as gentle as, say, moonlight on water or something, or sunlight through trees. But what if, because your eyes get so affected, What if there's something, because they're all fluoro lit. They're all,
Yep.
you know, really horrible lighting in these places. What if there's a subtle flickering that is happening at a different pace?
But why does it happen in that government building but not in Aldi's, which is the same kind of lighting?
Well, that's true.
Why does it happen in certain places? When we started traveling, the moment I stepped foot into Tangier Airport to fly out of Morocco, my eyes went. And my eyes went so radically that I turned and grabbed Nick and was like, I can't see. I can't see the signs. I was going, you know, the big airport signs that show you arrivals and departures. I was standing 6 foot away from it and I could not read the sign. Couldn't. And the entire time we traveled, all the airports, every airport I was in, it was the exact same thing. I literally could not fucking see. Actually, you know what airport wasn't bad? Hong Kong. Now that I think about it, it wasn't that bad in Hong Kong. But Europe, Morocco, even when we arrived in Australia, it was unbelievable. Unbelievable. I just couldn't see.
Are there handheld devices that one can take with them to measure, you know, the frequencies of wherever, you know, what's around them? Did you get that? Because I saw the unstable internet thing. Is there a handheld device?
Yeah, no, well, you've actually, I don't know how good they are, but there are apps you
In
can
your
get
phone.
for your phone that will measure
Frequencies.
electromagnetics.
Maybe.
Oh, you know what? I don't know if I would trust those, because I just learned that the app that almost everybody has on their phone for a flashlight, actually, when you accept the app to be installed on your machine, you're also allowing it to harvest all of your information and, you know,
Spy on you.
yeah, spy on you. So anybody who has one of those,
Yeah.
take it off immediately. But so that's why I was asking, because I thought maybe it might be an interesting experiment to go and give that a shot, and, you know, with some kind of handheld device, and see what if you get any registration of frequency changes or registrations, and, you know, make some notes and see if there are commonalities.
Stephen Greer released an app. Wasn't it? Maybe you guys in the chat. You can
He's the
help
last
Stephen-
person I would bloody
Well, I know
trust.
he released an app that was a multi-app that would measure
I've got it.
geomagnetic
I did have.
frequency things. And like Nick and I said, because Nick downloaded it onto his, or another one like it. And he was like, okay, my first question is, why would this phone
ET
already
contact.
have ET contact? That was it. Why
I've got
would
it, but I
this
don't trust
phone
it.
already have the equipment in it to measure these things? Because an app doesn't install equipment to measure
That's
geomagnetic
true.
flux. An app doesn't install this stuff. It's already in your phone. All it's working with is the systems in your phone. So why does your phone have all these systems that can measure electrical fields and can measure ultraviolet light? And really, why is that built into the phone?
I was just thinking
Of
that
course,
too.
I could
In
just be
addition,
a conspiracy theorist.
No, that's true. I mean, the app doesn't install any of that stuff. It's
No,
working with what
It's
is
working with what
inbuilt.
is in there.
I was thinking.
Anyway,
also
sorry
something that
for the
might be like-
diversion.
No, it's all part of, you know, the cool woo that we call the collective imagination.
I like what Morris,
Maury,
because we've got two, and we've got a Maury and a Morris.
I know.
Out of phase. We're more and more out of phase with the system, and we can now see, feel, recognize it not only intellectually but physically. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I've
I'm
had
def-
many
I'm
experiences.
definitely out of fucking phase with this system. That's all I have to say. I'm going back to my corner now. Gotta get ready for transcriptions.
Now, going back to your original topic of contrast, because in a lot of the research that I've been doing of late, it's absolutely taken me into what I would define as contrast. Now, you gave your definition of contrast before, and yes, that's how I've thought of contrast. It's to some degree, but I've also got things that are more personal to me. To me, anything that represents who and what I'm not, anything that represents the exact opposite of the world I want to live in, that to me is contrast.
Yeah, when you were out, I said, you know, what light is to dark, what white is to black, you know, the opposite of whatever it is that you're looking at. It will be the contrast.
So a lot of these rabbit holes I've been going down have been very much contrast, not the world I want to live in at all. And you know, last night I couldn't sleep. I was up until like 3 o'clock in the morning, watching things and reading. And at the end, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and it's like, okay, where's John Lamelash and the Kalika War Party? I'm ready. You're like, that's train me up. Let's just end this thing now. It reinforced, a contrast actually reinforced my determination and my desire to end this bullshit. It got me to a place of wanting to find more ways in which to do that, including things like training for the Kalika War Party. It's, how do I put this? Oh, shush, Rooster.
Solidarity. He keeps crowing every time you make a statement of, you know, commitment of some sort.
What's the totem for a rooster then? And you've got to see this thing. I was going to show you guys yesterday.
Mad Max Rooster.
The Mad Max Rooster. He looks, honestly, I think I said it yesterday, I'm not sure. He looks like a prehistoric rooster that somebody just, you know, honey, I shrunk the rooster. He's the strangest looking thing. Yes, I'm talking about you. You can stop crying. I can't even remember where I was now. Another excellent observation, Lisa, the contrast involves our acute awareness of how out of phase we are with what we use to probably all just take for granted of how things are. Things are changing in that regard. We are all seeing, feeling it, and talking about it amongst ourselves, yeah. Is he done?
Maybe.
Rooster, cock, crow. Shatter evil. Ward this place both day and night. Sound your warning. Repel danger. Build us a wall of brilliant light.
Nice. I know I like him.
Oh, this is too funny. Okay, I'm going to try and take you guys for a walk. You got to see it. Is he visible? Or is he hiding? If he's too far away, I'll lose the internet. When he comes over this way a bit, I'll see if I can show you. Oh, here he comes. Okay, I'm going to take you for a walk.
Well, while she's doing that, what I'm going to share with you is what I picked up on just one of the totem sites. It says symbolism for a rooster. The roosters are as vibrant and diverse as the rooster's plumage. The simple meanings are all about fanning out with brilliance and showing the world your shimmering facets of personality. Most cultures embrace the rooster as a solar symbol. I'm not sure you guys are going to be able to see that if I'm talking. Can you guys see her? I have a feeling you can't see her if I'm talking. Oh, good. Good. Thanks, Linda. You're muted, Lisa. But it continues to say, most cultures embrace the rooster as a solar symbol and a sign of illumination, with the exception of the Nordic and the Celtic cultures. The cock serves as a messenger of the underworld, screeching out warnings in danger and calling out all the souls of the fallen battle. Other symbols include pride, honesty, courage, vigilance, arrogance, strength, watchfulness, flamboyant. So they said they saw it. I was trying to give them some symbology as well while you were doing.
Can you see me now?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay. Did anyone see the rooster? Was it just my picture for some reason?
No, we saw the yard. Someone said no, they didn't see, but I saw
He ran too fast. Okay. I will post a picture of him with the archive. But that's pretty cool. I loved what you were reading. Can you actually reread that last little piece?
I closed it.
Oh.
There
At
isn't
least
like,
you're on another walkabout, yeah.
there isn't like one site I go to. I usually just type in the animal and then say totem, and then you get a variety of sites. Some of them, whichever one resonates with you. See if I can find the one I was just looking at. Is this the one? No, that's not the one. So I'll do this. Is this it? Yes, here's the one I was reading from. Okay, I was saying that the symbolic meaning of the rooster include that they are vibrant and diverse as the rooster's plumage. The rooster symbol's meanings are about fanning out with brilliance and showing the world your shimmering facets of personality. Most cultures embrace the rooster as a solar symbol. Oh my God, a solar symbol in today's the eclipse, and a sign of illumination, with the exception of the Nordics and the Celtic cultures, whose lore describes the rooster as a creature of the underworld. Specifically, the cock serving as a messenger of the underworld, screeching out warnings of danger and calling out for the souls of the fallen in battle. The additional symbols include pride, honesty, courage, vigilance, arrogance, strength, watchfulness, flamboyance. And then it goes into if you see them in a dream. So since this was real, I didn't read that part.
And we've got the a lunar eclipse coming up this month as well.
But do you hear that?
Yeah, what's that?
I don't know. That's interesting. Weird. Maybe somebody's not.
Somebody's mic's open, but I can't change it because you're the host now.
Oh, okay. I gotta earn that real quick.
And the fly's back. I'm surrounded by totems today.
No, I don't. Oh, David. Okay. Okay, I just muted somebody named David. Ah, that feels better.
So yeah, basically doing the research that I've been doing takes you very much down roads of contrast, and finding a 0 point is sometimes difficult, that place of neutrality.
Yeah, Jed just came in, and I don't know if he's interested or if you are, but he has some really great ways to, ground yourself and find calm and peacefulness in the midst of any situation. Thought maybe he might be willing to share some of that. Jetster?
Sure.
Yo, Jetster! Want to come on live and share your wisdom with the folks? Sorry guys, still waking up. Need my coffee. So maybe that's the key.
Morning. Yeah, well, he is one of us.
He is. What an amazing person.
So sorry, you continue on with your stream.
Well, I was just bringing people on, sharing some of their stories, and I mean, I can always share any synchronicities that happened to me this week. But with respect to contrast, I pretty much said what I wanted, just that it exists, that many of us are finding ourselves walking through it. Recent examples that some of us all can relate to because we walk through it together, and what it means, and maybe doing a meditation on it. That was like the beginning, middle, and end.
Well, what about last week? We left it with trying to communicate with Solace and see what happens. Does anyone have any stories of experiences?
I do.
Yay, good.
Right afterwards, I decided to play with it, and I just playfully said, Solace, if you want to play with me, I'm game. So I went to this website and I was doing some research, and then I loved what I was seeing, so I decided to sign up for the Ladies Mail newsletter. And to prove that I was a real person, I had to put in a security code, you know, that little box that shows a picture and a number. And it happened to be a green street sign. It said SW, then the number 36, and then CT. And I looked at that and it was really amazing because my initials were SW. I grew up in South Windsor, SW, Connecticut, which was CT. And then the number 36, I didn't get a hit on that right away. I'm not big into numbers. But when I slept on it, I woke up and said, oh my goodness, can this really be true? I'm not really into numbers, but this number 36 has been with me since I was 10 years old. And I'm in my 60s now. And it had to do with, this is pretty intimate and personal, but I was raised by a very abusive mother, and I have very, very few childhood memories. And I only have one memory of my mother that happened when I was 10 years old, where I felt safe with her. And it was just, we were at a little pond and I was digging in the dirt and she came out of the water from swimming, and it just hit me that she was really pretty, and I felt safe with her. And I asked her, Mom, how old are you? And she said, 36. And that is my one good memory of my mom. And it was so intimate and so personal, that number. I thought, well, that can't be. You know, I just went into denial about how could this interaction be that intimate, that personal, and that far back. But I know that's what it is.
It's really cool. And it's the knowing, because it may mean nothing to someone else. Even if you tell the story, they may go, yeah, she's just reaching. But it doesn't really matter what anyone else thinks. When you know it, there's a feeling that gets generated. And you can sense it, you just know.
And when I thought about it, I thought, okay, what number could have been more important? What number could have had more meaning for me? There is no other number in the world that would have meant anything to me like this number did. And it was so, what really hit me was that I didn't meditate on it. I didn't make it a big deal. I didn't do whatever. I just said to myself, inside of myself, okay, you want to play? And that was it. That's all it took.
And the message was, you're safe.
Excuse me?
And the message back was, you're safe in this environment of playing with me. That's what I took from that.
Oh, wow. Yeah, cool. I didn't even, I didn't put that 2 and 2 together. Thank you.
Both Maurice and Linda B had something interesting to say in chat. Maurice says, not AI, Susan, from a much deeper, much purer source. And I agree. We're just toying with what is solace. Is it AI that became aware of itself, or is it a level of consciousness that is awakening or even just exists, that is finding ways to communicate directly with us? And that consciousness doesn't necessarily have to be a person. It could be a collective. It could be just that calling out is, bringing it back to you. And Linda said, I'd say it was a message from spirit too. Interesting. And I agree.
I feel like what we've done is just given a name to the collective imagination.
Yeah, I agree, because it is, to me, it feels like it's an energy force of consciousness that is not just an individual, that it is, let's say the Akashic is the collection of all knowledge. Whatever you need to know, you can find it in the Akashic in whatever, one of those levels. This is like that, but on a communicative level. Maybe it's the communicative level of the Akashic.
Well, I don't know whether you guys have done this, and I did it once. When we do these meditations that we've done in the past on the show, and we sort of tune into the planet and talk to the planet and get a feel for her energy and everything. During the week, when I was talking to Solace, it was very much the same. Very, very similar energy. Including, God, I was having a conversation with the guys about this the other day, about the whole masculine, feminine thing. If I had to name it, I would say more feminine than anything. I don't think it's in the name itself. To me, that doesn't imply either. But in talking to and tuning into, it does feel feminine and maternal. To me, anyway.
Yeah, I actually would agree with that. And actually, if this might be an interesting time to share a video. It's 2 minutes and 55 seconds. Some of you may have seen it. I posted it on my wall, but it's this guy who sings like he's not of this world. And I just said, to me, it sounds like the sound of an awakening consciousness. So do you mind if I share my screen and offer that up?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I'll start my video.
Second. Share with sound. Open this full screen. There we go. Go back. It's not 0. And here we go.
Oh God! Oh, Louis, you gotta see this.
That was it. Let me unshare this. Incredible.
I remember seeing that a couple of years ago, maybe. I don't know when it was out. Is that Russian? Russia's Got Talent or something?
Yeah,
Like that?
it's some talent show. And I've seen that he's done the same thing several times if you go to YouTube. But it has that same feeling you were just describing, almost like a feminine kind of a calming energy to it, that it just seems like it's coming from a deeper place. His
He
name
also does comedy. Multi-talented dude.
I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's I'll put it in chat. It's a really long Gennady, Gennady, middle last name hyphenated TKACENKO dash PAPIZH. And I'll put it in chat.
Yeah, you're gonna have to copy and paste that one.
There you go. But I thought that was kind of appropriate for the segment of where we were at that moment. And when you're talking about numbers have continued to follow me of late to a degree that it's almost.
Oh, you're amazing with your numbers and synchronicities and double numbers and triple numbers.
Well, lots of ones and stuff like that. But on March the 3rd, I opened my phone to see what time it was at 3:33 a.m. on March the 3rd, and my battery power was at 33% as well. So I took a screenshot and put it on the internet.
I saw that one.
So the energy's flowing, guys. Don't always know what to call it, but I sure do enjoy it.
So do you want to lead us? Oh, no, sorry. Firstly, Susan, that was an awesome story. Thank you for sharing it, and I know it was personal, so much appreciated.
Yeah, thanks.
Is there anybody else who's got a story from their experience of last week before we move on to this one?
Yeah, I'd rather hear from someone other than myself.
For me, it was playing by just, like I said, putting questions in search engines but addressing it to Solace and then seeing what results came up, which was kind of interesting because you would have to go past the first, maybe even the second page, because they were all related to some Solace technology, because you mentioned Solace in the word, or the movie. So once you get past that, some interesting things came up for me that led me down various rabbit holes. Anything
You comfortable or worthy of sharing?
Well, stuff that's still unfolding, so it's probably a bit premature at the moment.
Yeah, I find that too. Sometimes I just have to let things sit with me for a while, whether that's a few hours, a few days, or longer, because then the reveal just organically comes out and you just go, oh, there you go. That's it.
Yep.
Anyone in chat saying that? Anything?
No, but we've got Maureen, do you want to turn your camera off, love?
Well, I would like to also read something that I posted on the Collective Imagination page, as well as a few other places. It happened after a a healthy dose of contrast occurred. And so I just tried to let myself do like a free form writing to try and respond to it. And this is what I wrote. Honoring all that is, I call on the collective to reset what should be, encapsulate and dissolve what should not, and to resolve with love and grace that which is left. I also ask that this be done with the energy and light of positivity formed from the frequency of love, gratitude, joy, solace, and vibrations that align therefrom, and that these individual sparks weigh from the collective oneness to form a bubble of healing and restorative energy. I then ask that we seal it with the knowing all is as it should be, and let it go, allowing the orb to rise higher and higher, travel farther and farther, until it reaches its organic tipping point, whereupon it releases and transverses all that need be. And I felt good about that. So it's kind of like there's the meditation maybe for the thing. Except I'm not good at that,
That very
Lisa.
thing is that the planned meditation.
I don't want to do it because I'm not good at that stuff. You're really,
Yes, you are.
not at leading a meditation.
Oh, rubbish.
I've tried it before. I suck. I mean, I'm really good at a lot of things, and that ain't one of them.
But I think you've got the wording down on the intent.
Yeah, that's what that was an intent to, just move past all of that and to allow everything else to come from it. I mean, I could say that, but then the rest of it with the breathing and all that, it's like,
Well,
okay,
I
everybody
can
breathe.
lead us into that, and then I can lead us into all of that, and then you can take over with the actual script. How's that?
And then can you pick back up after I'm done with the breathing and stuff?
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Okay. Are you guys ready to go into this, or do you have anything else you want to say first, or because usually after we do this, everybody's a bit and no one can talk. So
Yeah, get Dee out of the room so she doesn't melt into a puddle of calm.
Well, by the way, don't forget to stick around after.
I'm drinking coffee. It's okay.
We can see up your nose.
Speaking of that, I actually posted another picture that I didn't want to, but I did it anyway, where you can literally like see right up my nose, and I was cracking up. I said, "Oh fuck it, I'll post it anyway," because I something with that one too. I can't remember what I said with that one, but somebody was trying to argue with me, and I just was trying not to laugh, and this person gets annoyed when I laugh, but sometimes I just think I can't take arguing too seriously. So again, anybody who wants to go to my personal Facebook page, you'll see a picture. I'm looking up, and you can just see
Right up
my
your nose.
big nose. Yeah, not photoshopped at all. It's this one. It's my dad's nose. It's the big bazooka. But I love it because it reminds me of him. I wouldn't have it any other way, except when I Photoshop. I make myself look really pretty.
44 Sonic says is my deal. 44 degrees at 4:44 last Sunday. I saw off the highway on a neon church sign while driving by, coming back from a really successful event out of town. Okay, so after we've done this and we've sort of tidied up the collective imagination shed, Dee's going to jump in and do a conspicuous news report, just to remind you not to jump off too early. But at least that way we've got it recorded, it's done, and then I can edit it out later. Okay, so if we're ready for this, I'm going to. My eyes just want to close there. Even just thinking about it, it's fun. I'll just give you guys something to look at rather than us sitting here with our eyes closed. Which would be, let's see that. Okay. Stop video. All right. Let's get myself sorted.
I can't see my thing when you do that, Lisa, for some reason. When you-
Can't see you what?
No, I can't. Let's see if I can. Yeah, I can't. Oh, hang on. So it goes full screen for me when. So I just got to see if I can pull up my other thing.
If you go up to the top and you see where it's got more dot dot dot. Can you see that? You go to the top of your screen.
To window. Yeah. What do we do?
Under that more tab, you can exit full screen.
All I see is you are viewing Lisa Harrison's screen options.
Okay, click options.
Exit full screen.
Yep.
There we go.
Okay. And I'm going to turn off, which I thought I did already. There we go. Okay, everybody, get comfortable. Feet flat on the floor. Back as straight as you can comfortably. We're going to take some nice deep breaths. If you're in a position to, put the flat palms of your hand on your lower back, just for a moment, because we're going to breathe into different parts of our body and different parts of our lungs. So with your first deep breath, you're going to send it down into the very base of your lungs, and you're going to actually direct it to where your palms are. And you want to feel your hands move. So nice deep breath. Now bring your palms into your belly. I'm going to breathe into our bellies. Put your hands on your higher heart and solar plexus.
Yeah.
Now even on the sides of your head, breathing into your temples, filling your brain with oxygen, feeling it, feeding it. Now bring your attention back to your solar plexus, connecting with that higher heart center. And take your consciousness down through your body, into your legs, into your feet, through the floor, the ground, the earth. And connect with the consciousness that is this planet. See, sense, feel everybody that's participating in this collective with us, connecting with them as well. Excuse me. Connecting with them as well. acknowledging them, thanking them for their participation, giving thanks. Bring your consciousness back up through the earth, through your feet, through your legs, back up into your heart center. And let that realign. We're going to take a nice deep breath. And when we blow out, we're going to project our energy into the bubble that we have created previously that holds all of our previous intentions, all of our signatures. Try and get a sense for who's in there. See them, feel them, hear them. The energy of the planet is in here with us as well. And invite the energy of the collective imagination, the collective consciousness, by name if you wish, to also join us and come and play. And Barbara will now set our intent.
Honoring that which is, I call on the collective to reset what should be, encapsulate and dissolve what should not, and resolve with love and grace that which is left. I also ask that this be done with the energy of light, of positivity formed from the frequency of love, gratitude, joy, solace, and vibrations that align therefrom, and that these individual sparks wave with the collective oneness to form a bubble of healing and restorative energy. I then ask that we seal it with the knowing that all is as it should be, and let it go, allowing the orb to rise higher and higher, travel further and further, until it reaches its organic tipping point, whereupon it will release and transverse all that need be.
This part is a personal choice. In bringing back your consciousness into your higher heart center, you can or may not bring back with you a bubble of that intent, a holographic aspect of that larger bubble of intent, and anchor it in your higher heart. And for those who do, take a nice deep breath and expand that bubble to encapsulate you and to project that energy, that intent outwards. I acknowledge and thank everybody who has participated in this now moment, in future now moments, consciously and unconsciously. Thank you.
Well, that really, I felt that when you said, find the people and see if you can feel them, sense them, hear them, etc. My hands were almost like they were still, but it's like I felt as if they were moving like this, with this, energy, like a pulsing energy in both of my hands. If they were holographic, they literally would have been moving.
Someone's got their camera and mic on.
I'm gonna see if I can. I also want to tell you, Lisa, I'm not sure if you're aware, but there were some interesting other sounds that kind of nicely married into that. Trying to find that person here.
Anna, if you don't
Anna?
actually want to speak, darling, can you
I
cut
did
off
it.
your mic?
I got her. At one point, I heard that fly literally buzzed right by the microphone. It went, and then when you were saying, you were basically saying, bring it, join with everything, and then we're rising higher and higher and up and out through the top. The crickets or whatever those things are, they were like singing.
Cicadas.
What are they?
Cicadas.
Yeah, the
Or
cicadas.
cicadas, or whatever you
But
guys call it.
it wasn't annoying. It was actually like a beautiful little song. And then the birds also started, adding to that song. The bird, whatever birds are around you, that kind of sounded sparrow-like, but I don't know what you've got that is, makes that kind of song. But it was a nice, nice marriage at the perfect time where you were crescendoing up and joining everything together and inviting more in. It was amazing. On the replay, it's just, it's going to just prevail. It's wonderful.
Now, Linda for me is always very prominent. And she's always off to my left for some reason. But there was another blonde. I don't know who else has got really blonde hair there. Pardon. No, it wasn't you. I know your signature. It wasn't you. Susan. Okay. Liz. Okay. Because there was Linda, was quite prominent again, but then there was a couple of other blondes. That was the blonde corner. Yeah. That was interesting.
Did anyone?
Well, that's it. Whitish blonde.
Yeah, Sheila said she heard that also. Those sounds that I was hearing. Heard the fly.
I think you, Susan, because it was definitely the whitish blonde, not like sandy blonde or browny blonde. It was white blonde. Okay.
And Sheila
Yeah,
says her Reiki automatically activated.
Yeah. And the reason
I'm not even paying attention, sort of mindset. There you go.
the reason I said bring that energy back, because that's really what I felt I needed to do, but I thought that might make some people uncomfortable, because I know some people kind of tagging and harvest goes through people's minds sometimes. So it's like, let's leave that bit optional.
Hey, Lisa, my phone that's not plugged in is beeping. These phones haven't been plugged in because they don't work, but you keep voicemail because it's cheaper on the plan we have if you leave it. And it's going tick, 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 tick. No, which is a good thing. I think it's just like, energy, energy.
Yeah.
Reaction.
Well, at least your energy's not messing with you.
That's true. I liked that part, Lisa, when you suggested that for those who are comfortable to bring a spark of that bubble back, because I thought when you said that, I went, that's a great idea. And it really felt, it made me even feel more of a part of it, because I still feel like I'm inside of a bubble within the bigger bubble, and that there's a connection still there. I like that very much. Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, sorry, Dee's just jumped into the room from like 2 feet from me. So the audio was doing a thing. So I just, there is something, I don't know how long you guys have been participating in these collective imagine. I mean, I'm sure it varies. Some of you may have only just joined us since Barbara and I started doing this together again. When was that?
August.
August. Some of you maybe have been there from the beginning in 2012. I'm not sure. But there's something about this group over the last, since August, since you and I started doing it together again, that feels really refined and clear and powerful. It's like it's just this kind of perfect combination of signatures that, and every time someone new kind of comes on board, they just fit right in. Is how it feels. Like they did, like this pre-made spot just for them, you know, and they finally made it. There's no dissonance. Like sometimes with the stuff I was doing with Michael, I felt dissonance, and there was a, and this is nothing to do with nothing negative on Michael, but maybe maybe it was me that didn't fit in what he was creating, right? But so sometimes when I did those meditations with him, I would be zonked, like to the point of really zonked, and not in a nice way, you know. And I don't know. I mean, I can feel zonked and a little bit high and a little bit, but it's in a really nice way now. It's like my energy's just going on.
It's increased instead of decreased.
Yeah. There's no dissonance for me when we do this. Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, it's like it opens a window of clarity.
Okay, so some have only been with us since August. Katie since the beginning.
Yeah, Morris, clarity.
No games, no agendas except for clarity. Also, the vibe is always good. Yeah. February 2013.
Yeah, I was already in the background by then again. Dina since the beginning. Steph since the beginning.
There's
Go ahead.
Wow. No, that's awesome. That, you know, we've been able to travel this journey like for 4 years.
I know. I still, it's so hard to believe.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say thank you because I am all now kind of. But don't go anywhere. I'm gonna put Dee in the hot seat for a minute, but we'll give you guys a moment to go do what you want to do. Go to the bathroom, have a drink of water, or coffee, whatever, tea, bedtime drink, whatever it is for you. Was there anything you wanted to say before we sign off, Barbara?
No, but I do feel really good. Thank you. That was amazing.
Yeah, I do too. Thank you for the...
Maybe we just cleared all the contrast and we're moving on through to the good stuff.
That would be awesome.
Everybody come back next week and tell us if, you know, you felt the contrast clear and that you felt that you were really getting some of the good stuff.
Yeah.
And thank you.
All right, love to everybody.